Have you noticed grocery shelves turning bare lately? Recent reports warn that by the end of March 2025, everyday items may vanish from our local stores. Supply chain breakdowns, extreme weather, and global trade disruptions are colliding to create a perfect storm. Backed by data from the USDA, the International Olive Council, and Bloomberg, these shortages are not speculative. They are coming fast. Olive oil is disappearing first. Mediterranean harvests are in crisis. Spain and Italy, which supply over 60% of the world's olive oil, have seen production drop by nearly 35% compared to last year. Extreme heat waves scorched the orchards, and unexpected floods later destroyed what remained. One Italian farmer recently explained that in 4 decades, he had never seen such stress on olive trees. Prices have surged by 45% since November, with experts predicting another 30% jump by mid-March. If extra virgin olive oil is your staple for cooking, act now. Consider switching to avocado or walnut oil temporarily. While they too are climbing in price, they offer a viable substitute until the next harvest. Cocoa products are next on the chopping block. Once an affordable treat, chocolate now comes with a premium price tag. West African cocoa, which supplies 70% of the world's chocolate, is experiencing its worst growing season in decades. Production in Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire has dropped by 30% in recent months, largely due to aging trees, extreme heat, and a fungal disease called swollen shoot virus. Major companies are already cutting product sizes and raising prices. A $2 chocolate bar from last year is now selling for nearly $3.50, and premium dark chocolate along with baking cocoa are disappearing even faster. Grocery managers warn that by mid-March, many retailers may run out of high-quality cocoa products. Stock up on your favorites now, or consider alternative treats that do not rely on cocoa, at least until the crisis passes. Citrus fruits are also at risk. Florida's orange production hit a 90-year low after a series of hurricanes ravaged groves, causing harvests to fall by 63%. In Europe, Spain and Italy, known for their citrus, are facing record-breaking winter heat, which has decimated lemon yields by almost half. This shortage is more than a minor inconvenience. It affects everything from your morning juice to marmalades and even natural vitamin C supplements. Prices for oranges, lemons, and grapefruits have already jumped by 45% since January. Some regions report that shipments may not continue past mid-March. If you depend on fresh citrus for health or flavor, now is the time to buy extra. Freezing juice or learning preservation techniques might help bridge the gap when fresh supplies vanish. Coffee is in trouble, too. The International Coffee Organization reports that global coffee production is at its lowest level in 8 years. Brazilian farms, responsible for 40% of the world's coffee, are suffering under the worst drought in decades. Satellite data shows dangerously low moisture levels, which have caused young plants to die before they could produce fruit. Meanwhile, floods in Colombia and labor shortages in Vietnam are compounding the crisis. A study in a leading agricultural journal warned that 60% of wild coffee species face extinction due to climate change. Major retailers have already imposed purchase limits, and price hikes of 18% have been announced by large chains like Starbucks. For coffee lovers, the advice is clear: buy your favorite beans now and store them properly. If you run out, consider switching temporarily to tea or even exploring alternative brews like chicory-based drinks. Seafood options are not spared by these disruptions. Strict seasonal fishing restrictions, imposed to protect dwindling fish populations, have already reduced wild-caught salmon availability by 60% in key regions. Alaska's fisheries are cutting permits, and reports from the National Oceanic Agency highlight that ocean warming is driving species into uncharted waters. Shrimp are also facing a crunch. The Gulf Coast is seeing a 40% price increase due to rising water temperatures and contamination events. Crab and lobster supplies are dwindling as well, with some areas reporting that the commercial catch has fallen by over 60%. Smaller species and farm-raised options may remain available, but at higher costs. If seafood is a regular part of your diet, consider buying frozen options, which can be stored for months, or turn to alternative protein sources until wild supplies stabilize. Rice, a staple for billions, is set to become a rare commodity. Global rice shortages have reached record levels, with the shortfall in 2023 estimated at 8.5 million metric tons, the worst since 2004. A blend of climate change, extreme weather, and government export restrictions is behind this crisis. In India, repeated export bans have sent prices surging by 15% to 20% overnight. The premium varieties such as basmati and jasmine rice are especially hard hit. In California, water shortages have shrunk domestic production, and even brown rice is being sidelined in favor of more stable white rice. For households that rely on rice, the practical step is to buy in bulk while prices are still manageable and to diversify with other grains like quinoa or barley. Supporting local producers may also help stabilize your pantry during these uncertain times. Fresh berries, once a springtime delight, are on the brink of becoming a luxury. In California's berry belt, the driest winter in 15 years has led to a 42% drop in rainfall, while unexpected frost in Florida wiped out nearly 30% of early crops. Mexico, a key supplier, has seen its exports decline by 35% due to labor shortages and logistical issues. The consequence is a predicted price jump for strawberries to nearly $9 per pound by mid-March, with blueberries and raspberries facing similar fates. Consumers have already started freezing berries as a workaround, and many turn to local farmers markets to secure a limited supply. If fresh berries are essential for your diet, buy extra now or learn methods to preserve them at home. Specialty flours are vanishing from shelves next. Ingredients like almond, coconut, and oat flour are increasingly scarce. California's almond production has been hit hard by severe drought, while tropical regions supplying coconut face steep transportation costs. The rising demand for gluten-free and plant-based diets has further strained these supplies. Industry research indicates that the global specialty flour market will reach over $13 billion in 2025, yet production is not keeping pace with demand. This mismatch means that products like chickpea and cassava flour are becoming rare and expensive. If you rely on these flours for baking or cooking, buy extra when you see them. Consider experimenting with alternative flours that are more abundant and affordable in your local market. Certain meat cuts are disappearing from dinner tables. Meat processing plants are operating at reduced capacity due to labor shortages, and production costs have increased by 17% since January. High-demand cuts like prime ribeye steaks, beef tenderloin, and pork shoulder are dwindling rapidly. Some stores have already imposed purchase limits to manage dwindling stocks. Smaller cuts, like chicken thighs or chuck roast, remain more accessible and are a practical alternative. If you have special plans for a family dinner or celebration, purchase and freeze your favorite cuts now. Local butchers might have better access to nearby farms, offering a temporary reprieve from the disruptions hitting larger supply chains. Dairy alternatives are also racing off the shelves. Production challenges have led to shutdowns in several major plant-based milk facilities. Oat milk, once ubiquitous, is now in short supply as manufacturers pause production of flavored varieties. California's almond crop failures have hit almond milk hardest, with yields down 31% compared to last year. Plant-based yogurts and cheeses face similar shortages due to limited fermentation cultures. Industry data shows that plant-based dairy sales jumped by 27% last quarter, while production capacity increased by only 8%. If you rely on these products for dietary needs or allergies, purchase shelf-stable options now or consider learning to make your own at home. Simple recipes for oat or almond milk can bridge the gap when store shelves run dry. The mounting crisis in grocery supplies is more than just a temporary glitch. It is a warning signal of broader food security issues. Government agencies, industry experts, and independent research are converging on the fact that the food supply chain is facing unprecedented stress. Extreme weather events, compounded by ongoing labor shortages and disrupted trade policies, are creating a scenario where items once taken for granted are becoming rare commodities. The advice is simple: act quickly and decisively. Every shortage comes with its own set of practical takeaways. Buy in bulk where possible, explore alternative ingredients, and support local producers. Whether it's stocking up on extra bottles of olive oil, securing your favorite coffee beans, or preserving fresh berries for later use, preparation now can save you significant stress, time, and money in the coming months. The situation is evolving rapidly, And while these shortages may seem like a distant problem, many industry insiders warn that the full impact may hit even sooner than expected. Keep an eye on local grocery trends and stay informed by following trusted sources like the USDA, Bloomberg, and the International Olive Council. In uncertain times, knowledge and preparation are your best defenses. Consider this your wake-up call. Look around your pantry and make a plan today. The next time you pass by an empty shelf, you will know that it is not an isolated incident, but a symptom of a larger crisis. Every decision you make now could save you from the frustrations of trying to find a missing staple later. Stay vigilant, act smartly, and share your experiences with others. The coming months will test our resilience, and only those who prepare will weather the storm.